and penalty shootouts. So it will be a great match. Malaysia, of course, have done great to get here. They've come here with predominantly an even younger team than the advertised under-23. And Razib Ismail, well, his Chargers yet to concede a goal en route to final. That's some achievement.
It's an incredible record, and that's why today's match will be such a key encounter, because Bangladesh will have to do what no team has done before. Of course, they can still win it on penalties. That's what they are fighting for, this beautiful, beautiful trophy, the Bangabandhu Gold Cup 2015, presented by AB Bank.
I can tell you that the pitch has been watered beforehand, the lines have been redrawn, the condition
Completely buried under a rubble of his teammates, but they were a jubilant lot. That's quite understandable. Malaysia have a fairly big injury-enforced change in their team, Ross. If we go through their lineup, then there's one big name which is missing. Shairul Azwari, the number 18, has had to make way.
Absolutely, the left winger who, it has to be said, is an attacking force for the Malaysians. Well, he's not made it to the final 11. Azrul Nizam will come in and take his place. There you can see the substitutes available to coach Razib Ismail. Predominantly young squad of players.
Absolutely. In fact, the man who has had to make way, Shairul, was the oldest of them at 22. Nazrul, their captain, has been quite impressive. We believe that even though he normally starts at left wing back, as we were just discussing before off air, what might happen is he might switch to a more midfield role and have the number 13 who's come in his place, Azrul, into a more defensive formation. And number 9, Adam Noor, he is due for a goal, isn't he? In fact, both number 9s.
Both number 9s, Adam Noor of Malaysia, Amali, the spearhead of the Bangladesh attack. Both have been playing well, and as we look at the Bangladesh lineup, then massive change in the absence of Himanto Biswas.
And it's happened just a while ago, in fact, during training, just injuring himself. That has been forced on Bangladesh now, bringing in Monam Raju, who we've seen more as a substitute coming in to close off games. But here he'll have to start, he'll have to link up in midfield with the likes of Jamal Bhuiya as well as the captain Mamoon. Also have some options, in fact, lots of attacking options in their team. But really, it is up to the front line who have done so well in the last couple of games.
As indeed have the Dutch coach of Bangladesh, Ludovic de Cruyff. This is how they will probably line up. Number 6 in your picture there, Jamal Bhuiyan, is the holding midfielder, the Claude Makaleli, if you like, of this side. And we mentioned before the number 9, Amali, who has played so well. His all-round game in this tournament really just needs a goal to cap things off.
So it's going to be an absolutely smashing evening of football. Do stay tuned wherever you are watching in the world, because these two teams have served up so much of entertainment over the last 9 days or so that you can expect that to continue. It all began on Thursday last in Sylhet, and it finishes off in Dhaka with the same two teams for the Bangabandhu Gold Cup 2015.
Yes, indeed. The teams taking to the pitch now. And the stadium slowly filling up. But certainly there was a lot of activity outside the stadium. Fans gathering, flags being sold.
And Ross, it's a magnificent turnout as well, and it's a great sign for Bangladesh football, because not long from now, in fact, on the 27th, 29th and 31st of March, the AFC Under-23 Championship qualifying round matches will be played here. And in that group, of course, Bangladesh will be joined by India, Uzbekistan and Syria. They'll need all the support, because all three fairly mighty teams in comparison with Bangladesh as well. But with the 12th man behind them, who knows, they could come up with some amazing results in those games as well.
And that's a great point that you bring up there, Devine. The fact that Malaysia, well, this is their first time playing here at the Bangabandhu National Stadium, and they will be facing a volatile crowd, a full house, and perhaps that's something that affected the young Thai side in the semi-final as well.
In fact, the Malaysia youth team did face Bangladesh once in the 1999 Bangabandhu Gold Cup and ended up 1-0 losers on the night. We'll have, of course, the special guests being introduced to the two teams. Lots and lots of dignitaries, which is fairly common because they deserve a lot of credit, Ross. They've created the environment which has made it possible to organize all these matches. excellent security arrangements which have been there, and terrific travel arrangements as well, to and fro, as Ross mentioned before, up from Sylhet down to Dhaka. We've done it on a couple of occasions, and it's been, well, it's been tough, Ross, but we'll say it has been very rewarding.
It has, absolutely. We understand the Prime Minister will be in attendance as well, so dignitaries galore expected this evening here in Dhaka.
The Honourable Finance Minister Abul Mal Abdul Muhit, who of course is an avid football supporter as well, because he studied abroad. He studied in England as well as at Harvard, so would be knowing all about the English clubs. Which team do you reckon he might be following, because he's wearing blue as well as red?
Don't put me on the spot, Dubai. The referee is from Chinese Taipei, Mr. Ming Sun Yu, who refereed the semi-final. So obviously they've kept the best officials for the big final. And that man in yellow, well, we've seen him at every single Bangladesh game, haven't we?
I forget his name, but he comes in cricket as well. He comes to the cricket matches, and he always, irrespective of the dipping temperatures, it can get pretty cold, as you would have observed here in Dhaka, but he's always bare-chested, has got those Bangladesh colours painted across his back. Now this, of course, is Mr. Inayatur Rahman, who's MD of Channel 9, who have been the host broadcasters, and we hope that you have enjoyed all the efforts that we've put into this production.
Yes, indeed we do, and it is... Well, we are, in effect, in the Tigers' den this evening. We've got Tigers versus Tigers. We will break now for the national anthems of both teams. Crowd are pumped up here at the Bangabandhu National Stadium. This is the grand final, of course, of the Bangabandhu Gold Cup 2015, presented by AB Bank. Ross Yusof and Dubai Sen in the commentary box. And, well, which captain will be lifting this wonderful Gold Cup in 90 minutes' time? Will it be Nazir Naim? Will it be Mamoon? As we look at the officials from Chinese Taipei, as well as Mr. Mansuri Reza from Iran in your picture there. Fourth official is Kamis El Mari from Qatar, and that is the wonderful Gold Cup that both teams will be fighting for.
Claimed in the past in 1996-97 by Malaysia B, who played on that occasion the Olympic team, and in 1999 it was won by the Japanese League 11, who competed in that particular final as well. Bangladesh are making it through to the final for the first time, which is why you have this massive attendance. Quick prediction from you, Ross, possibly without the Malaysian hat on?
Well, okay, without the Malaysian hat on, I think we're going to see our first match to go the distance. I think we could see extra time, possibly even penalties being involved. There you go, I'm still on the fence.
Okay, I'll be a little bit more bold. I think it will be extra time, I agree with you there, but I think Bangladesh to win it by 1 goal. It could be a high-scoring match, but I would think it might just see that 1 goal, 1 moment of inspiration from any of the players on the pitch.
Well, it will certainly, if Bangladesh do win this, it will be a nation in party mode come 7 p.m. this evening.
And just to underscore what I said right at the top of the telecast, I think, Ross, you will agree, it is a win-win situation for both teams. Both youth developmental squads, both with an eye to the future, both have unearthed a few possible national team players in times to come. Bangladesh, of course, are playing with their senior team, but from that point of view, the gains will far outweigh any of the pain of losing this final, which unfortunately there will have to be a team which will not win it. But let's be very honest, both these teams have been the best in this competition.
Absolutely, they're not here by accident. As we take a look at referee Ming Sun Yu from Chinese Taipei. This young Malaysian side, I guess when they started this, possibly, well, they weren't favourites. Bahrain and Thailand were certainly favourites in front of Malaysia, but they have grown into this very much like the host nation, and you create stars. A lot of these players at the moment, they're signed to the Football Association of Malaysia. They are playing for professional futures.
I think that's the key point you make, the fact that both teams have been growing in confidence. In fact, you could say it's an irresistible force against an immovable object colliding in this big finale.
I like it. And there have been many immovable objects, let me tell you, on the roads of Dakar. I personally have experienced it. We're hoping for a great game here. We're hoping for lots and lots of goals, and I'm sure referee Ming Sun Yu will put on a good show himself as well. Remember, the two teams met on match day 1. Both come from Group A. On that occasion in Sylhet, Malaysia were 1-0 winners. Thanks to Shazwan. And, well, all that's wiped off the slate now as the game is underway. Of course, Bangladesh in their familiar green and red shirts, kicking from right to left, and Malaysia in their home colours of yellow and black, going from left to right.
Well, I'll be keeping my eyes on number 21 for Bangladesh, as well as number 13 from Malaysia. The two players who've had to be drafted in because of injuries, how they settle into the combination, which has otherwise been quite fluent across the last 2 games. In case of Malaysia, for the last 3 games, that'll be quite critical.
Mamoon just beaten to the ball there by Amirul Hisham, and in slides Rahman, much to the delight of the capacity crowd here. Throw to Malaysia, and as you would expect, although they have met each other before, that there is a feeling each other out period, as you would get especially in a big final like this.
From the look of things, Bangladesh are settling into a 4-1-4-1. So really, Monaim Raju is playing in the centre of midfield. He's going to join Mamunul alongside him, and Zahid will be playing as the right winger effectively.
Maran tried to chase that down, but Rehan works it back to Sohail. And He tries to set Muna off. That's Yassin to the captain, Mamoun. Of course, Rahman, the number 2 for Bangladesh, possesses a long throw which the Malaysians know all about from match day 1, and I'm sure they've been watching the Bangladesh games as well. That goes out for a goal kick. So 2 changes from each side from their semi-finals. Malaysia are missing Sharul Azwari. In place of Sharul comes Azrul Nizam, and Bangladesh, well, Himonto Biswas doesn't make the starting lineup. But we believe he injured himself in the warm-up. We'll get confirmation for you, but Munaim Raju comes in his place.
In fact, we have been informed, we are getting the official word that it was an injury and forced replacement. Injured his knee apparently during practice, so that's a big blow in many respects because he's the man who won for them the game against Sri Lanka. This, of course, is Razib Ismail right through this Bangabandhu Gold Cup. He's shown not much emotion, except for a little bit of relief, one would think, after beating the traditional rival Singapore in the semis.
Well spotted, sir. They'll go back, and Farhan Abu Bakar here, the Malaysian custodian. If he can keep another clean sheet, well, that could well be a record, certainly for Malaysia. I don't believe a Malaysian side have made it through the tournament without conceding a goal. Although we'll check on that for you if we can.
That's another reason why this is such a big match. Bangladesh and Malaysia, neither team or neither country have traditionally won a lot of tournaments. So it's a great chance here for Ludovic de Cruyff's men, as well as Razib Ismail's wards, to get in a huge moment in terms of their football history.
We understand Ludovic de Cruyff, well, we know he was recently just reinstated just before the tournament started, and we understand it's a short-term contract, so surely he's done enough to win himself a longer stay.
What will also be interesting in the initial moments, they were a little physical, weren't they, against Thailand? Thus far, it's actually Malaysia who concede this free kick.
Yep, the 2 number 9s clashing there. Adam Noor penalised for, well, it looked like a push behind Amelie, who hit the deck.
Not much in it, to be honest, but this is going to be a key battle. Zahid Assam Emily has also had a good tournament and will be itching to register his name on the score sheet.
Nasser down the line. This is Zahid Hussain, who just couldn't keep that in play. And already Razib Ismail making notes. One wonders what managers and coaches write in those books. Do you reckon it's a shopping list?
That depends on how much it costs to call back to Malaysia, because normally the shopping lists come from the wives, don't they?
That's in your experience, is it? Well, the Malaysian team will be travelling back to Kuala Lumpur tomorrow evening, so they'll certainly have